Sometimes life can come at you fast. And it seems like sometimes in sports, it can come at you really, really fast. So much for Isaiah Thomas and teams having to back up the Brinks truck. So they backed up the Brinks truck. It was loaded with EBT, and that's it. Man. Talking about 2 years ago, this was a guy that led the Celtics to 50-plus wins. People talking about whether a team is going to invest $25, $30-plus million into a 5'8" point guard. He was looking to get paid. Paid. And now, just a year later, you have a hip injury, which requires surgery, takes several months to recover. In the meantime, you're traded from the Celtics to the Cavs, who then can't wait to get rid of you to the Lakers. And now Isaiah Thomas has found his next destination in the NBA with the Denver Nuggets to the tune of 1 year at the veteran minimum. From possibly having delusions of grandeur of $30-plus million a year to maybe what the market might have realistically given him, which was somewhere between 15 to 25, depending on the competition for him and the value that teams assigned to him, to 1 year, 2 point whatever the hell million dollars. Isaiah Thomas got the league minimum. Yikes. It feels like he lost a crap ton of money in just 1 year. So again, life can come at you fast, and the NBA life can come at you really, really fast and smack you right across the face. So I have to imagine Isaiah Thomas is disappointed. I can't imagine he would have wanted to sign with the Denver Nuggets, and I most certainly can't imagine he would be happy with the fact that he only got the league minimum to play when this was a guy that was playing at an all-star level just 2 seasons ago. That's how it is. But when you look at the signing for the Denver Nuggets, it's easily worth the gamble. It's worth whatever risk you might associate with it. Sure, you're talking about a 5'8" point guard who doesn't defend. It doesn't necessarily make people better, but this is a guy that can, even as a ball-dominant guard, help your team by putting points on the board. He can get buckets. That is a fact. I don't think anybody can deny that. And you're talking about a team like the Nuggets who could look at themselves and feel like they needed a lift and some boost at the point guard position. Isaiah Thomas could potentially provide that. And if you can get Isaiah Thomas to even play close to the level that he did a couple of years ago in Boston, and you get it at the veteran minimum, it is easily one of the best contracts of this upcoming NBA season. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're going to have guys that you pay the veteran minimum. I'd like to pay the veteran minimum to a guy that has played previously at an all-star level. Now, maybe he will never be that type of player or that level of player again, and nor will any situation or circumstance he's ever in dictate that he gets that opportunity to be so. But that doesn't mean that if healthy, Isaiah Thomas can't still be a helpful and productive player on your team, especially if you're envisioning him as a six-man, or even if you say you're starting him. There are things that Isaiah Thomas can do that can help you. He can be a playmaker. He can be a shot maker, a shot creator. I mean, for the Nuggets, this is like one of these no-duh, just freaking do-it type of deals. Because if it works, great. You got something out of him for 1 year, and you didn't spend any real money on him to get that. And if it doesn't work, like if Isaiah Thomas comes in and he pouts, and he's a negative force or impact on the locker room, you signed him at the veteran minimum. You can bench his ass. You can cut his ass. You don't have to have him. You don't need him. So you have a lot of leverage here. Isaiah Thomas does not have much. Or if Isaiah Thomas plays well for you for a few months and somebody else has a point guard that gets injured and you're sitting there and you're like, man, yeah, Isaiah Thomas is nice, but we're not going anywhere this year, but we could get something in return for him. You might be able to turn him and flip him into a first-round pick, maybe a second-round pick, or somebody else that can help you down the road. Like, to me, there's absolutely no financial risk here. I mean, when you talk about players and the level of production they can provide for the price that they're at, Isaiah Thomas's contract for 1 year at the veteran minimum could be one of the best pure values in the NBA. And if he gives you something at a position of need, outstanding. And if he doesn't, then it's only for 1 year. You haven't really invested anything into him. If he creates any problems for you, you can just send his ass home. You can waive his ass. You can trade his ass. You got any number of things you can do. You can bench him. Like, this is, to me, an example of a team making a good decision, making a smart choice, and taking a very good calculated risk. Like, the potential of upside here is much greater than any investment they've made in Isaiah Thomas. That, to me, is the measurement of a really, really well-thought-out good deal and a lucky, fortunate deal for a team. And the Denver Nuggets, I feel like, got just that in Isaiah Thomas and what they were able to give him, which wasn't jack shit in the grand scheme of things. Evan Turner gets like $18 million a year in the NBA. You're paying Isaiah Thomas a little over $2 million? Whose contract would you rather have? This was a smart, astute, great signing, low risk potential, decent to mid-level, even high reward for the Nuggets. I absolutely love the move.